baseball night here at Aspen Creek Grill up in Noblesville, Indiana. I'm Keith Myers along with Sean Crawl and the boss of all bosses, Mike Bennett. He is the general manager of Aspen Creek Grill, and welcome to baseball night.
I'm super excited. Thanks for having me on.
What do you got there, Sean?
Nothing for you. This is the famous powwow shrimp here at Aspen Creek Grill, and I'm trying not to slobber on camera while it's sitting right here in my hand.
One of the delicious appetizers here.
Would you like one?
Well, yeah, sure.
Oh, we're going to do this live.
So what kind of specials do you have going on tonight, Mike?
Well, tonight's Big Steak Thursday. So every Thursday we got 16-ounce ribeyes for $24.99. Comes with 2 sides. We always invite families out here to enjoy a great dinner with made from scratch food and fresh, amazing sides and salad dressings. So please bring your family out and enjoy some food with us. We've got another appetizer I wanted to feature. It's going on for this for the next 4 weeks. So that's the powwow shrimp. The other one that's coming into the shot is our buffalo chicken dip. So this is a new menu item that's coming on.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very delicious. Become a quick crowd favorite. So a lot of people are ordering this
we
right
need
now.
To test this out here.
Oh, that's really good.
Yep.
I dropped my chip.
Doubled.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. You want to get these?
That's really good.
I did want to bring up some facts, just a little bit about baseball. But we do have a Little League World Series softball person that works here at Aspen Creek, and she was in 2012. So not much to speak of. Came in 4th place, but still a big achievement, to make it to the Little League World Series out of Anderson. So maybe later she'll be here to answer some trivia questions with you guys.
That would be excellent.
That would be excellent.
All right, good.
So let's talk a little bit about how important it is this time of year to get people involved in. It's like a glove. It's the All-Star break. Pretty crowded tonight, but you're kind of excited about the playoff games that are coming.
We're excited. It's tough to get any good sports on right now. I think tennis is what's going on at this time.
Today is always the worst day of the sports year because none of them 4 major sports are playing.
Yeah, so the bartenders and the servers are always like, "What are we putting on the TV?" And I'm like, "I guess it comes down to ping pong. I'm not sure what we can find, but we love having a good crowd here. We think that people enjoy the food so much here, and they want to come in and have a great meal."
Well, I think a lot of that is the hospitality that you bring to the public. You're very friendly. You're always here, or Gwen is here to greet the people, and your staff is top notch, and that brings the community awareness of not only you but what we have done, because we've had many people ask what's the lights for, why are you here, all those things. That's the good awareness.
Yep. People always ask questions, so partnering with you guys and helping us grow our business together, we appreciate the partnership. So thank you.
Well, every organization is a mirror of its leadership, and you do such a fantastic job. That's why it's packed here every time we come here, and people are excited, and the food's fantastic, the service is fantastic. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
We talked about Little League, but let's talk about Major League Baseball here.
Okay.
It's been the All-Star break. You look at the standings. Your thoughts in the American League? Who's going to win the American League playoffs and going to go to the World Series? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I will not know the answer to that. I just know that the Reds are really on fire. So, Tampa Bay, I don't really know, but I'm looking
second
forward.
best record in baseball.
They are, but I'm excited for the Reds. I've actually been watching them, here from a local standpoint. You're either a Cubs fan or a Reds fan, so I think.
Well, he wears that Cubs shirt everywhere he goes, so.
Not true. I'm wearing this because the greatest play in All-Star game history, this is the uniform the Cubs were wearing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go YouTube Dave Parker throw home 1979. You'll see what I'm talking about.
So did you watch the All-Star game?
I did not.
He's probably working.
I work.
Well, you got 15 screens.
Hey, Keith, who won that game?
The National League won the All-Star game.
Yes, sir.
Yes. My Boston Red Sox is really bad this year as well.
Did they have no? Actually,
they did
surprisingly, they're in last place, but they're over 500. If they played in the American League Central, they'd be in first place.
Yeah, and if they would play the same division that St. Louis Cardinals is, they would be up by 4 games. And we have Cardinal fans out there. You know
that must be a rough household because the Red Sox are in last and the Cardinals are in last.
And so when Major League Baseball is on, we don't watch the Cardinals or the Red Sox.
There you go.
So the All-Star game is now going football. We'll fast forward to football season. You have done our football show the last, I think, 4 years. That is next month. Hamilton Southeastern is one of those schools that we always invite. Talk a little bit about the atmosphere that you have with high school sports and tailgating and those things, because I know you tailgate some of those games.
Oh, yeah. Well, we enjoy being partners with them and getting to hang out with those guys, meeting the coaches and meeting the players. And, there's a big sense of community with the families and having them come out. So, I think high school sports are important, and, we need them so people can interact and have some social skills and not be on their phones all the time looking at YouTube or Snapchat or any of the other stuff. So,
and then finally, the concert series, you're right down the street. How's that been doing for you, and who's on this weekend? I think you told me.
Yeah, this weekend we have Shania Twain on Saturday and Fall Out Boy on Sunday. It was a slow start to the concert season. We had one concert in May and then only 2 in June. So finally in July things are ramping up, and it gets better and better as the season progresses. So with Farm Aid being announced in September,
that's going to be huge.
Yeah,
tickets went on sale today. It's sold out already. So there'll be people from all over the world coming, to this area to enjoy our food and get involved in our community.
Do you get a sense of the different types of crowds? Like you're going from Shania Twain to Fall Out Boy. Could you see that in the constituents?
See that a lot.
Yeah. So country concerts and rock concerts are usually our most popular patrons that come in. So we can really sense it when you get an obscure band or something people don't know. You're not getting very many people.
And then finally, your remodeling. When's all the remodeling begin?
Yep. Right now we're got everything submitted to the state, so we've got to get approval from the state and the city. But hopefully by October it should be hopefully wrapped up. So that'll push out and give us a patio, indoor-outdoor patio, so be able to dine inside, outside.
So this show next year could be outside.
Oh,
yep. Looking forward.
Outside.
Mike, as always, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, our pleasure.
And we thank you. And, if you want to bring Rachel by during this third segment, we're ready for it.
All right, we'll do.
Why don't you show off that powwow shrimp before we head?
We're going to take a break. When we come back, a lot more for you right here at Aspen Grill.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
We are back. It's a Sports Zone here live at Aspen Creek Grill. Thanks so much to Mike Bennett and the folks here for having us. It is the baseball show, and with that being said, we have with us Stu Hartenstein, who is the Central Region Director of Little League. And, you know, we've seen Little League grow from being down at 42nd and Post, and now it's at Grand Park. When did you come on, and how did that process go into play in terms of moving up there in North and the growth of Little League in general in this area?
Yeah, it's a great question. So as you mentioned, we were kind of on the east side for a while, and just some things changed on that side, and we could find a better location for us, and we put that out there for many states in our region to kind of bid on where exactly we could call home, and we got several bids, and at the end of it, just really felt like the greater Indianapolis area was a great place to be because it had the flavor that we were looking for in terms of the hospitality industry coupled with the sports industry and just the embracing of that one. We see that at Grand Park as we called our temporary home for a while, and then both Zionsville and the city of Whitestown both came with call-in, and luckily we ended up at Whitestown at the end of the day, and they have been a tremendous support to us. The town of Whitestown's been fantastic. Very lucky to have them embrace us there, and that community continues to grow, and we continue to grow in with them as well. So very thankful for them, and just very lucky to be in a spot where you have that perfect storm of we love sports and we have the hospitality industry there too, and that's ultimately why we settled on
with the community of Whitestown, the small community now that's blowing up, as you mentioned, you just get the sense that in the next 3 or 4 years there could be another explosion that has to be good for Little League baseball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think what you just said was a great point, because a lot of what Little League offers is based upon the community sense. And Whitestown certainly, and there's several communities out there throughout the country that definitely embrace that community aspect of things. But Whitestown certainly has that small town flair to it, continues to grow to be able to give us what we need from our tournament support standpoint. But that community aspect, we're in a great spot there.
I would assume too, being right off of I-65, that's fantastic for teams coming in for tournaments, for travel.
Yes.
It's just a perfect location.
Yep, absolutely. There's so many perfect things there that made it the perfect place for us to be, and we're very lucky to be there and very fortunate to work with the city.
And I'm sure you get no hailstorms around that area. We just did the All-Star, North-South All-Star game. Sean and I experienced hailstorms,
Yeah.
and as we drove by that facility, it kind of dried up. So rain stays away from that area, hopefully. Especially this time of year.
A funny story about that. Last year we were getting ready to play. We're trying to decide whether or not to pull the tarp or play the game. And our field maintenance guy, Jamie, he looks at me, he goes, "It's going to rain on the highway, but it'll stay dry here." And sure enough, the storm came through, it poured on the highway, and we were dry and playing.
There you go.
Somebody had to replace their windshield.
Yeah.
We won't say who.
Talk a little bit about the growth. We experienced this 15 years ago. We did a lot of Little League baseball. We mentioned it. We did a Little League baseball game of the week. We did the tournament. ESPN then took over a little bit and has dominated that since then, and kudos to them. But talk about the growth of 15 years ago to where it is now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that pertains to just how enriched we've been in the communities of the nation. And then, honestly, we've seen a lot of our growth in the softball side of things here, too. And a lot of times, some of the baseball programs that have been well-established have pulled their softball programs along. But quite honestly, here in the last couple of years, we've seen more softball tradition communities pull their baseball community in along with things as well. So we've kind of been able to get a two-for-one, if you will, with the advent and the growth of softball here the last couple of years.
And the softball playoffs games begin in just about a week to 10 days. Your office is just crazy. I know that the last time we talked, you're going everywhere. Talk a little bit about the teams. Have all of them have qualified to get here for the region, or is there still playoff games going?
Yep, still state tournaments still going on. I think we've got, at this point, 3 of the 9 teams that'll come have qualified. So Michigan, Ohio, and Nebraska have all qualified here. Still waiting on state champions from the other states to go ahead. They'll do so through the weekend or into the early parts of next week. I think Monday may be the last qualifier that we'll get. But by Monday, we'll be shored up and ready to go and welcome those teams on Friday of next week into town.
I don't know about anybody else, but I always get confused. What states are in the central region and what are in the Great Lakes region?
Yeah, so the central region encompasses all 13 states. And then from there, we have 2 divisions, and it's just for baseball. We have those 2 divisions.
Okay.
In all other divisions, all 13 states are competing against one another in the Central. But for baseball, we have 5 states that make up the Great Lakes, and it's basically any state that touches a Great Lake with the exception of Kentucky. So it's Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois is our 5. And then the other 6 states the other 8 states, can't do my math, I was a history major, fellas.
Basketball coach.
Yeah, the other 8 states are all in the Midwest. So we go as far west as like the Dakotas, Nebraska, Missouri, that area.
So when they go to Williamsport, it's Midwest and Great Lakes, but combined they're the Central region.
Yep, everybody makes up the Central region. Then for softball, for example, we'll send a Central region champion. And then for the Little League Baseball division only, we'll send 2 champions, one from the Great Lakes to Williamsport, and then one from the Midwest division to Williamsport.
Talk a little bit about your history. If someone says OH, how would you finish that?
I would finish it with an emphatic IO.
Hey, wait! I just had powwow shrimp. I don't need to come up.
Easy now.
Talk a little bit about you've been involved in athletics. You're a basketball coach because you speak with your hands.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball coach. Talk a little bit about the history and how Little League Baseball hooked you in to doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a college basketball coach for several years before moving into this position with Little League, but I had always been part of Little League. In fact, I do not know a summer without Little League Baseball in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I started as a tot from about a 5-year-old, playing at Hardscrabble Little League in Dayton, Ohio. Went ahead and graduated, I guess you could say, and aged out of the Little League program and got a hold of umpiring. And that's what really drew me in and kept me in. I was an umpire and a field director guy for a while at the local levels, and then went to college, and started into the coaching profession. And then before I knew it, I couldn't get away from Little League. The relationships and everything else it stands for kept drawing me back. And then before you know it, Little League made me an offer that I couldn't walk away from, and became the Central Region Director in December.
You may not know this, Sean, but he's got buddies in our Heartland Conference.
Really?
That he knows
very
very
nice.
Well. Manchester's coach.
I got you.
Comes to mind very quickly. So Little League Baseball, at your household now, Stu, everyone eats and breathes Little League Baseball and softball for a month and a half?
At least. Yeah, absolutely. And always have. So my wife's great. She's a basketball. She was a 4-sport athlete, actually, growing up. She's the athlete, not me. I was the mathlete, if you will. But nonetheless, she's a huge supporter and couldn't do this without her.
And a baseball fan.
Oh, big-time baseball fan.
Number 2,
she loves Derek Jeter. In fact, we had to get married on the 2nd of a month for Derek Jeter.
Ladies love Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
He eats popcorn during the All-Star break, I hear.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
So, volunteers, because we're going to have you come back 2 segments here, but the volunteers are very important. We talked about some volunteers that literally ruined my life when I was a little kid. You need those. If there is someone out there that's watching this and say, hey, I want to be involved, how do they contact your office? And is it too late for them to help this season for the softball and baseball tournament?
Yeah, reaching out to the office is great. centralregion@littleleague.org is the email address that you can get us at. And leagues and communities always need volunteers no matter what time of the year it is. We'll certainly take any help that we can get, particularly in the elements of like parking and various other different departments that we have at the region tournament. But nonetheless, here we need those volunteers, and we need them not necessarily to just do the work, but as you mentioned, to serve as role models, because many people in your life that we know have helped shape your life, as you said.
Absolutely.
And one of the reasons why I am the man who I am today, and why I keep coming back to Little League, is because of the influences I've had from volunteers, my league presidents, folks that I had in my league growing up, and then even many folks in the organization who I got to befriend throughout my days as a volunteer, who are very close family friends to this day. So,
what if somebody's watching and their community doesn't have a Little League program, not affiliated with Little League? Can they contact you in the same way to ask about starting a program?
Absolutely, and you'll have John on here in a little bit to talk a little bit about that one too, but they can simply email us at centralregion@littleleague.org, and we'd be very excited to talk with you about joining the Little League program, what it has to offer, and how it's helped communities throughout the country and throughout the world, really teach life lessons, build stronger communities, and then really offer a unique experience to the youth of those communities.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Stu's second segment. So we threw a curveball at you. Make sure you catch it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Stu from Central Region is still with us here on the Sports Zone live from Aspen Creek Grill. And Stu, one of the things that we had discussed is the teams that belong to each regions. How do these leagues go about getting their teams to Whitestown? And then from there, like, what's the process once they qualify to go to Williamsport? How does that all work logistically?
Yeah, great question. So each team that you'll see on TV here coming up is all a local community team. And they would have played a regular season, so a lot of them start in April, or some of them start in May, especially in the northern areas. But 18-game season. They'll play. By rule, they have to play at least 12 games, and then they'll have to skip playing scheduled 12 games. Some of them play 18 games, some of them play 20, or whatever it might be, depending on if weather allows you. But you play your regular season, and then each league has its own kind of process that it uses to select its all-star teams from those regular season teams, and they compete what we call the international tournament. And the international tournament starts about mid-June, usually the weekend after Father's Day is when we always begin. And then it's up to the local district administrator to run the tournament. It has a various different levels. Most of the time it's district. You win your district, you go to either a section. Most of the bigger states like California, Illinois, for example, they all have section tournaments that are played. Smaller states or more average-sized states have kind of gotten rid of that section division. So you'd either go from your district to section, or you go from your district to state. From state, once you win the state tournament, you go to the regional tournament, and then from the regional, you would qualify for any of our divisional World Series tournaments.
And Williamsport is happening, isn't it?
What's that?
Williamsport is where you want to go. And
Absolutely.
It is a big deal for those kids.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. A lot of people always ask me what it's like, and Williamsport is awesome. It's pure. There's a lot of energy, emotion. Everybody's in a good mood. Some people call it Disney World. For me, it's like going to the state festival or state fair with baseball, and it's just an absolutely awesome time. And you got great food that's affordable, a fun place.
I mean, if you don't even have a kid playing Little League, I would think if you're a baseball fan, Williamsport should be on your bucket list. I know it's on mine.
It's on mine.
Yep, 100% it is. And, parking's free and, admission's free, but you won't be disappointed. Again, it's baseball in its purest form.
Yeah, one of the things that being involved in Little League as much as I was, the fun thing is how the all-star team was selected. In my district, the kids got to select 5 kids, and then the board selected the rest of it. And it was kind of cool to see, the kids. And the neat thing is, the popularity vote wasn't there. It was they knew who was the best player. Back in my day when I played Little League, I never got to pick on the All-Star team because I collected too many rocks.
I gotcha.
He did. Now, there's lots of stories about, oh, hey, it's the Masters and they have this great menu and it's so cheap. There have been some rumblings that at Williamsport they do a really good job with that in terms of selection and with prices as well. Keith being a huge concession stand guy, that's right up his alley.
My connoisseur, you know, you got to have a hot dog, you got to have a nacho, you got to have, you know, a funnel cake or an elf in your. If you don't have any of those things in your concession stands, it's a C minus. You know, Williams, you know, Whitestown will take care of us. In fact, on our refrigerator door right now, Stu, is the dates of the girls and the dates of the boys and how that works. My IndianaSRN schedule. And the days that they do not, Debbie takes the car and she will be there almost every day. Talk a little bit about the concession stand, because that's a very vital part of the organization.
Oh yeah, our concessions is great. It's our concessions folks and our volunteers there, very committed. It's a year-long process, to be quite honest with you. They go through the purchasing part of it, the planning, the ordering, and right now it's the organization and stocking. And I think one of the things that Little League has done a very good job of, and that we try to strive for, is to ensure that the fan experience and all experience is affordable for all our participants. So whether that's, you know, registration fees at the local league level, or in our case at the region tournament level, affordable pricing, free parking, free admission. Really want to make it a family-friendly environment and one that's affordable for all.
We let you go, or we could do 4 or 5 segments of this. But Jim Barber would be upset because, you know, his contract says he's got time as well. We thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Lots of luck. I know
Appreciate it.
You're going to see a lot of IndianaSRN up there next few weeks.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Little League Trivia right after this.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, you know, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Back at Aspen Creek Grill, the powwow shrimp is gone. I don't know where it went, but I think it went that way, and I think Jim Barber is eating it. Yeah, he's eating it right now.
I know the buffalo dip is gone. That was fantastic.
Jerry ate all the buffalo dip.
He loves that spicy stuff.
With us now is with Rachel. Rachel was a Little League player, 2012. I watched your games, and you won the state championship, and you were at Little League Central on Midhawker. Yes. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah. You finished, what place in the Little League World Series? Fourth. That's not bad.
Wow.
Did you get a ring?
We did not. I don't
Tim
think they
Landis
gave
was
rings,
a cheap guy, wasn't he?
He is not.
You can say it. He's probably watching.
No, I loved him. I loved him.
It's Little League trivia.
All right, here we go.
Wait a minute. What position did you play?
I was mostly outfield. Utility.
There we go.
Oh, I played outfield.
You had a gun.
You had a dugout.
I'd like to
Way out there.
How many people did you throw out? Come on.
I don't know. I can't count on my hands.
But you batted 200. I heard, right?
No, just in the Little League World Series, not.
Yeah, just in the World Series. Yes.
She was an all-star to get there, Keith. Come on now.
Bennett is looking now. My boss is looking on now. Here we go. Question number 1.
Okay.
When did Dusty Baker get inducted in the Little League Baseball Hall of Fame? 2007, 1999 or 2000?
A, the first one.
2007?
2007.
You're exactly right.
Thank you.
Very good. Number 2, Mo Davis was the first female pitcher to win the Little League Baseball game in what year? 2000, 2021, or 2014?
2021.
No, 2014.
14.
Yeah. You got to look at his fingers. Okay, so she's 1 for 1. I love this segment because she has no clue. All I know is she wants to go back to her tables to get tips.
They're right here. They can
Okay,
see me.
all right. They're watching you. Oh, okay. Wave to her. Wave to Rachel. There you go. All right, number 3. In Little League Baseball and softball, bases are blank feet apart. 60, 90, or 45. Come on, you should know
60.
this one. 60 is right. Because you had a hard time running those bases, didn't you?
I like to think I was pretty quick,
Were you?
but, you know,
Did they call you Flash?
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay,
I
where
didn't
did
know
you
about it.
where did you hit in the lineup? What was your
Oh, I can't
order?
remember.
Tim.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't remember.
Question number 4.
Okay.
How many innings are in Little League softball? 7, 5, or 6?
7.
No, 6
6.
in Little League softball. Yes.
I don't remember this. I thought it was 7.
No,
You're
not little.
lying.
Little League softball?
Yes.
Keith has
No,
been,
I have
I
to.
thought it was 7.
I tell you what, Johnny's coming up. He'll confirm that it's 6.
Keith has been known to get some questions wrong.
Okay, so after Little League softball, did you do your career in high school?
I did. I played at Anderson High School.
Were you
For
guys
3
pretty good?
years. We were pretty good. We never won sectionals. We always came close, but we were pretty good.
And you graduated from Anderson. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Anderson University, actually, so I stayed home. Thank you.
Heartland Conference.
Yeah, love it.
Did you
Awesome.
play athletics?
I did not. My high school coach was the recruiter for AU, but I decided not to play. Wanted to get my GPA
So
up.
what brings you to Aspen Creek Grill to be the hostess with the mostest and a waitress?
Actually, Mike recruited me from my previous job, and he came in and he asked me to come work here, and I've really had a good time here.
You know, his personality is top notch.
Yeah, it is. He's great.
He recruited us to come and
Did
do
he
these
really?
shows.
Look
Yeah,
at him
yeah.
doing
He's
his job.
He's taking credit.
So now she's going to get requests. Now people coming in and be like, oh, I want to sit with the athlete.
Yeah, the athlete.
I would be flattered.
So if you're giving advice, let's give some Little League girls some advice in softball when they're coming to play in the district. What was it a lot of fun? What do you do
It was
to
so
have
much
it
fun. It was so much fun. I made so many friends throughout the years. I've been playing since I was like 5 years old, so it was really fun. Just keep going, play as hard as you can. That's what my dad would always tell me. So, yeah.
So when you went to I think you went to Portland. Is
Yes,
that where
we
you
went to
played
Portland.
Okay, so when you went to Portland, how much fun was that? Because
Oh my
you were
gosh.
5 days away
It was
from
a
Indiana.
lot. I know, it was a lot. I think that was like my first time on a plane, actually. So that was exciting. Oregon's beautiful too. Like on our off days, we could go hike, we could do whatever we wanted. But yeah, it was beautiful.
Have you seen the new complex up in Whitestown?
I haven't.
You need to go check it out.
Oh my gosh. I know regionals used to be in Indy, but they don't do that anymore.
Everything's up in Whitestown now with the new stadium and everything.
That's
A lot of fun.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah, I
you get
would
the
love
little,
to go
you get
see
the
it.
baseball, and also my wife wanted me to get this out of the house. This is the record of the Vic, so you
that's
get that
so
as well.
cool.
How about that?
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
My wife will be very happy that that's out
beautiful.
in my office now.
I think that's like perfect.
There you
It
go.
sits right in there. Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. It's so nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
We'll take it back.
Thank you,
And we'll be
guys.
back after this.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
We're back here at Aspen Creek Grill. We have yet another guest from Little League International. This is John Majors, the Central Region Assistant Director.
Yep, you got that right.
All right. Whew. You know, I'm getting old. My memory's not as good anymore.
You should get it. Oh, the powwow shirt's gone.
Yeah, it is gone. We had Stu on a little bit earlier, and one of the questions we had for him is, let's say a community's watching, and they have what people in a generic term would call Little League Baseball, but it's not necessarily affiliated with Little League International. How can they get in affiliated with Little League International?
Yeah, especially this time of year, people are really excited for Little League Softball and Little League Baseball, and rightfully so. You can go onto littleleague.org/playlittleleague, and you have an option there to fill out a charter link. That'll get you in contact with our league development office, and then also myself and your local district administrator, and we'll take it from there. And then ultimately talk to you and make sure you're the right fit and see if you want to be a part of Little League. So it's awesome.
Is the growth in Indiana getting bigger, or are you seeing
For
it
sure.
online?
No, it's definitely getting bigger from our league development office. The numbers that we've seen, it's been great, especially in the Central region. We had the most leagues come in for the region this year in the United States, so it's definitely an exciting time here in the league.
It seems like baseball is making a comeback. Major League Baseball has made leaps and bounds to improve their game. I love the pitch clock. I love the batter's timeout. I love the pickoff. Those are things that now a game takes an hour and a half, 2.5 hours to play. Where before it took three. You watch the Cubs game, you knew you were going to watch 9 innings of baseball and be there 2 days. But
watch it.
The speed of the game has helped, I think, and I think a lot of it is ESPN has developed this to make it a lot of
For sure.
for people to watch.
Yeah, for sure, and that's definitely something that's helped in major leagues and college level as well. I don't know if we'll see it in Little League anytime soon, but that'd definitely be cool, especially with time limits in our local leagues there. And for tournament play, it won't happen, but be cool in the future. For sure.
ESPN has been a huge part of the growth of Little League.
For sure.
Starting off with ESPN3, now they're starting to get on the TV and such. What are some things you would point out to fans who may be tuning in for the first time in quite a while to Little League to kind of be like a reminder of like, hey, these are some major rules you might want to know ahead of time before you start watching?
Yeah, definitely pitch count. We really care about the arms there with kids, and we want to make sure they're safe and there's no injuries moving forward there. Other than that, 6-inning game like you guys talked about earlier, and that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else.
I noticed the fence has moved back to 225 feet in some areas. Williamsport, I do think it's 225.
Correct. Yep.
Is that because of the flight of the ball the last couple of years, or these kids? Obviously, these kids are getting a lot stronger. The aluminum bat is fun. Though I saw a Little League kid hit a home run with a wooden bat a couple of weeks ago, which kind of blew me away. Those type of things are necessary to keep the game kind of safe, right?
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And the bats have gone down a little bit too. You don't see any more of the BSRs anymore. It's BB Core and USA approved bats. But yeah, the fences have been moved back to 225, and that just makes it a more pure game, not as many home runs.
Keith is jealous because he never actually got the feeling of what it's like for the ball to meet the bat when he played.
Well, I used a size 28 bat when I was
there you go.
But again, you always miss the pitch, though, is the problem.
I struck out a lot, yes. Thank you. You graduated from Manchester.
I did.
Play sports at Manchester?
I did. I played baseball there. Graduated in 2019.
You know, the Heartland is part of IndianaSRN.
I sure do. Yeah, that's exciting.
And I'm sure you know about the HCAC.TV, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your mascot's very disappointing, and he doesn't talk, but...
Oh, Manny the Spartan, he's a great guy. You got to love Manny.
Okay. Talk a little bit of volunteer basis. How many volunteers does it take to put on just one day of this tournament?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would say that we have about 15 to 20 volunteers on a normal basis on the day.
Awesome.
It's awesome. It's
Golf
hard.
Cart City.
Yeah, Golf Cart City. We got about 5 of those running around the complex. It's a great time, and people really enjoy it. They spend time out of their vacation to come out here and help us out, and so we're very thankful.
The interesting thing that I like, and I see more and more now, is people are involved and they want to donate. If there's someone out there that says, I can't go to the games, I know they're free, but I would like to write a check to Little League, where do they send that? And what's $1 represent to you guys? Because it could be a baseball or a kid get to play for free.
For
right?
sure. Yep. Every dollar matters there, and if you do want to make a donation to Little League, feel free to reach out to us at centralregion@littleleague.org. We'll get you connected with the right people there. But we like to do a lot of stuff with local leagues in the community. We have Central Indiana Little League that we help donate with our concession stand, and they volunteer, they help out, and we want to make a contribution.
Now, Nia is one of our friends. Do you
Yep.
have any stories about Nia? Nia and
Oh,
Sean are
man,
really
we got
close.
the best story when she got engaged and didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, and we did it live on
we did.
IndianaSRN.
Man, no, I don't have really any stories like that. I guess my first day I showed up to the complex and she was getting on somebody because the floor wasn't right, and she's very fiery and passionate, and that's just her personality. You got to love it.
Now, when the actual Little League World Series takes place in Williamsport, you all go and you get assigned different jobs.
Correct, yep.
What's your favorite job that you've done in Williamsport? What's your least favorite job?
Selling cotton candy.
I was very fortunate my first year. Normally, first year people do not get a fantastic job. I was the red hat for all the volunteer games and international games, so it was awesome.
What is the red hat?
So if you watch a football game, if you go to a football game, you see the guy with the orange gloves on, telling you like, "Hey, there's no commercial," or "We're playing on there." That's what I did, and I really enjoyed it. I got to work all the international games. It was a fun time.
Okay, my final question to you is the Little League mascot. I kind of digging.
Yep, dugout.
Do you need some help with dugout? Because I know somebody that would love to be dugout for at least a day.
Yeah, come on out. I'm sure we would take all the help we can get. It's a good gig, that's for sure.
I think it pays well. I think it plays a Slurpee
For sure.
and a hot dog.
Yep.
I'm into that, and I can
Do they
convince.
need to run?
If you want to, that'd be
I
exciting.
don't think that dugout needs to run.
Want to make sure dugout doesn't have to run.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and then finally, the softball surface is ready.
Yep.
And tell the fans behind the scenes, you developed that to a softball facility,
We sure
to
do,
a
yeah.
baseball facility in less than 8 days.
Oh, yeah, it's
Explain
crazy.
that to us.
Yep. So our softball tournament ends on the 28th, and then our first baseball game's on the 4th of August. And what we do, most of the other facilities do the same thing. We have a skinned infield right now with just dirt, and then we take grass and the turfus area. It comes in on a fridge semi, and then it comes in, and we just lay it down, and it's good to go for the baseball tournament.
That's incredible.
How does it grab onto the soil? It just does?
That I don't know. It's something
does
that
it?
Jamie, our grounds guy,
That's on his pay grade.
You didn't get a horticulture degree when
I
you
did
were
not.
there?
No,
Okay.
sport management at Manchester. I'll take that.
And in rain delays, I know you're out there sometimes with the rake because
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to get these games in, correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. We have to. We got a schedule with ESPN, and we get it done.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys.
We are going to come back with a guy that everybody in the state of Indiana will know because when he was 14 years old, he was on Channel 8. He's now just turned 22. Jim Barber's with us right after this.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution. and cloud architecture.
Is very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Back at Aspen Creek Grill, Jim Barber joins us in the hot seat. You knew every single answer of the Little League trivia I saw.
Yeah, and I had Dusty Baker's son in one of my games in college baseball.
Darren.
In a tournament. And Dusty was on hand. He's between managerial jobs at the time, so he had his famed toothpick in his mouth and very approachable. And his kid was very good in that tournament. I don't know if Cal went very far, but he played well.
Wait, he had the toothpick in his mouth when he wasn't even coaching. I thought that was just a coaching thing.
No, it's
Wow.
it's tradition. It's tradition. Mr. Baker, and he was so approachable that it made it nice because here's a guy that is a legend in baseball and now has a world championship, the Astros, and he was so accessible at a ballpark with California.
Speaking of a legend, you are a legend. You know that.
I appreciate the build-up, and I'm sorry I can't live up to it.
No, seriously, you're an Indiana legend. We met each other back in at Cecina High School.
Easily. 19 blank.
On the stage, and you were a young pup at that point. And now you've been doing Little League Baseball, at least this tournament, for at least 15 years. Because when we started, ESPN just started doing some of those games.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you, and I mentioned to Stu and John earlier that when we used to do games initially, what you're talking about, we had so much little information to prep that we had to talk to the managers prior to the game to get any insight. Now with ESPN, we've got conference calls. We've got research coming down from all their stat people.
SIDs.
It's awesome. I mean, it's like preparing for a final exam where you actually went to class every day as opposed to what I did a little bit in some of my college work. So
You also were part of Little League when the scaffold at Grand Park, when the wind blew, you blew. Sean was your intern one night, and Sean says, it is dangerous up there. You've been in some positions that has been pretty challenging.
Yeah, it's a hairpin turn over at Grand Park when we had the scaffold there. And so it's a little scary. You didn't want to look down, certainly when you're going down, or even when you're going up. Here with the beautiful ballpark, it's nice. We have our own suite. We're really spoiled rotten. We have catered food. And, you know, doing softball is, I mean, it'd be a hobby if it wasn't a career for me. It's splendid to be asked every year by ESPN. And I don't take it for granted. I prepare pretty hard.
Well, and being the guy he is, I asked if I could come shadow him for a day at Grand Park, and he did, and I was allowed to go through the truck, which is unreal.
Yeah.
Only cool place was there at Grand Park.
Well, that is true. Mm-hmm. But all the different stuff and all the tentacles that come out that everybody has to work with together smoothly to get the broadcast off. It really is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I looked at the crew listing for this tournament, just for softball alone, 35 to 40 people.
Wow.
It was never like that when we started, but everybody at ESPN gets their hands in it. Everybody wants to contribute. And as they said in our conference call a couple of days ago, this is one of our crown jewels, and they treat it like a crown jewel.
Well, because they know how important this is to Grandma and Grandpa who's going to watch that young lady play, and they want to give back to the game because they do give back to the game frontwards, forwards, and however that is. One of the questions I have to ask, you've been doing this long enough, do you have a favorite game? I know a few years ago we watched a 9.5 inning game. It was raining, they stopped the game, they came back 30 minutes later. I do believe you passed at Little League Central on Mid-Hoffer. But is there a game that you can go, man, I wish I could bottle that?
There were a series of games that I had one year where they were all walk-offs.
Wow.
In other words, that the home team won in the last at bat, usually coming from behind. And we started to laugh about it. I worked with John Gregory at the time. Every game mirrored the previous game. And so we just expected it. If somebody was up 3 runs going into the last inning and the other team was batting, that the other team was batting was going to win the game. And did. And I think it's a little heartbreaking sometimes when you see an error at the end of one of those games that inevitably costs the one team the game. But the parents are so cool afterwards. I mean, they're hugging their kids even if it doesn't go right. You know, there are a lot of tears from boys and girls, girls in softball, boys in baseball. So it's a precious time to be a part of it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I had a friend that worked at Disney World in Florida, and one of the questions they ask before they get hired is, what's the one thing you're going to do to keep the magic alive? Because you get involved with it, you see all these things, you know, it can become kind of mundane. How do you keep the magic alive in the Little League after doing it for so long and broadcasting so many games?
It's a great question, and my wife Amy will appreciate this. I tell dad jokes because all the kids write in their jokes.
Yes.
I call them dad jokes, and Giannis, the big star for the Milwaukee Bucks, is a big dad jokes teller. He will tell it at his conferences after games.
Oh, yeah.
So I will put together a series of dad jokes, and even though I work by myself, I'll tell the joke, and then I'll laugh. And I'll just assume people at home are laughing as well.
You'll have a laugh track.
Yeah.
Because we just started a clap track for our radio kids. So
hey, my students get that completely because that's how I am in my classroom.
And the dad jokes are really pretty cute. I mean, I guess they're just jokes. I call them dad jokes because I've been given a book around Christmas time from my daughter Maddie and from my wife Amy about a series of Christmas dad jokes. And I go around the house telling them, and now that my daughter is 18, if she's got a group of friends over and I tell them, the eyes just go,
oh, please. Yes.
They laugh, but
yes.
I get to tell one. That's about it. You know?
That a lot.
So I think that's the way, among other things, you keep things light. And I just like calling baseball or softball. To me, that was a sport I grew up with outside of Chicago. And, like most hopefuls, I would hope to, at one time, to have done Major League Baseball. I got as far as AAA, and this is my Major League Baseball these next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, thousands of people, millions of people watch these games, and I love how they stagger Central games to out the West Coast.
Yep.
If you're a Little League junkie, you could literally, on those 10 days, not go to bed because you could watch baseball and softball 24 hours a day.
Guys, there are 254 live games ESPN will do in softball and Little League Baseball. Not Major League Baseball, not AAA, Little League Softball and Little League Baseball. I mean, it's a phenomenal number, and they are all live.
In 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, they start at 10 a.m., and probably if you were that much interested, you could probably watch until maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, particularly with the games from the West Coast.
And it's the family networks. It's the main channel. It's ESPN2. It's ESPN3. It's the app. It's all over the place.
Well, now that you mentioned it, Sean, this is the first year that the Little League Softball Regional Championships, all 6 of them are going to be live on ESPN.
Oh, that's
We're
awesome.
going to move from ESPN Plus in the earlier rounds to ESPN on that Friday, which I guess is just a couple Fridays from now. Starts at 11 a.m., goes all the way to 11 p.m., wall-to-wall softball.
Do you think part of that is because of the growth of the Women's College World Series?
Oh, absolutely.
How popular?
Absolutely. I mean, it's exploded. Softball's exploded.
We talked about you being a legend. Talk a little bit about your career, how you started. I know you're from Chicago. I know you're a Big Ten guy. Talk a little bit about that. And the Indiana market was pretty hard for you to break into, but you have established. And the one thing that I said this to you when I talked to you on the phone, you have always been kind to us.
That's easy.
You knew what we were going to do.
That's easy.
And you keep praying for us. Continue to do that.
Absolutely.
But how did that happen? I mean, do you think that was directed?
I do. I believe the Lord has a path for everybody. And my path started in Northwest Indiana on radio. Then I went to public television where I got a chance to do sports. And then I worked in Chicago at CBS Channel 2 as an assistant producer. Basically, I charted baseball games. And they recommended me for a job at CBS Wish in Indianapolis as a sports anchor. They actually put me on their set to do a warm-up act so I'd have a tape for them to show in Indianapolis after one of their newscasts. These guys were like the number one newscast in America, and they got me coming on there to read their script just so I'd have a tape to show my new bosses. So I got the job at Wish. I worked there 10 years, was let go in 90, and then wanted to do play-by-play, and I went to a sportscasters camp in California in 88 to see if I had the talent for it. It was graded pretty high, and then Purdue hired me in 92, and the rest was history.
I moved here. Oh yeah, well yeah. I moved here.
Right there.
I moved here out of college in 1990. So you've been on the airwaves and on TV ever since I've been.
It's pretty amazing,
in
isn't it?
Hoosier
I mean,
State. It's
be
just
lasting that long. That's pretty cool.
But it's recognizable. It's a voice of comfort. Like you hear certain voices, it's college football season. Oh, it's Little League baseball season. And you're one of those very few voices that I can say that about.
Yeah, the cool thing I like about it is during game day, you can go sneak up, 90 minutes before game time, talk to you. And then he'll look at his watch and goes, I got to go. We'll see you the rest of the day. I know he did our show one night.
Right.
He goes, fellas, I'm really tired. I got 15 minutes for you. You never said no to us.
No, and you're on a clock.
Oh, yeah.
On game day, even if you show up like I do, which is early enough to string cable with everybody, that even if it's 4 hours beforehand, I'm watching all the game day shows from ESPN to Fox to NBC to see if there's something I can pick up to use in our regional telecast for college football. And it's really helpful in preparing for softball. Went back to last year's championship between Texas and Maryland just to gain terminology and try to have some insight in case we show last year's highlights to what happened and seem like I'm up to speed on everything.
Well, Keith is looking for some people to do play-by-play. If anybody's watching this that wants to get into the business, what advice would you give them?
I would take every opportunity I get a chance at. I don't know if anybody ever looks beyond a regional chance to try to go somewhere bigger, but work is work, and it's great if you can hone your career, your profession. Dan Deerdorf, who did the NFL for years, when he stopped playing NFL in the NFL, he did high school football. It wasn't beneath him. And so I think the main thing is do anything and everything. Try not to set your sights too high. If you're talented, people will find you. ESPN goes through the country, and they know where the talent's at. I don't know if I could ever get on with them again because the talent is so good, but I was fortunate to get on when I can, and as long as you continue to do a good job, they ask you back.
Okay, here's the shameless plug. Coach at IndianaSRN.org. That's all you need to know. We
Not a
gotta
problem.
Let you go. Thank you so much.
Keith, Sean,
I'll
a real
see you
pleasure.
in a couple weeks.
Thank
we
you,
got
sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Debbie
Great to
and
talk
I
with you
will be
guys.
up there for softball, and we'll be up there for baseball. So
Come up and take a tour. We'll give you more than 15 minutes this time, maybe
Okay,
20.
I'll bring popcorn.
Good. I love free food.
Popcorn in the voice, if you get scratchy.
It's okay. He's a professional.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
I should have let him pick one.
In
of
his
but
own
they
mind,
both picked one, so I've done it. Thank you for your time.
All right, boys.
We're going to wrap it up. We'll come back right after this.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Hey, there's a kid over there from the Sandlot Snack.
Whoa, nice.
What position
I
you
love
play?
I love that movie.
Outfield?
Outfield.
I think his dad is coach.
It's an outfielder day,
And
yeah.
his mom's there because she knows all about baseball.
Oh, for sure,
You know,
for sure.
He gets the talent from his mom.
100%,
No question about it.
100%.
Hey, that wraps it up for us. But before we leave, let's pick your World Series champion.
I'm not. Well, I can pick a champion, but you ready for this?
Okay.
I'm gonna go Atlanta and Baltimore in the World Series.
Okay.
Atlanta wins in 6.
I will pick the Rays.
Okay.
And I will pick the Braves. And the Rays in 8.
The Rays. They don't play 8 games, Keith.
The best, don't they play best of 9?
No.
Oh, best of 7, right?
You were alive when they played best of 9 back at the aughts.
Back
but
in the day.
Yeah, but
okay, best of 7. So
Yeah.
I would say they'll win it in 7.
all right.
Okay.
There you have it. Mark it down.
Football show next month right here at Aspen Creek Grill. Please join us for that. If you have any questions and you would like to underwrite, you can contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Looking for college football, 70-plus games of college football on Indiana SRN, over 300 games in high school sports throughout the year. So it's going to be a very busy year.
If you love sports, contact coach at IndianaSRN.org.
Please. For my wife and your wife and everybody behind the scenes, Greg did a good job on the 1 and 2s.
Greg was excellent. Sticks was awesome.
Sticks is awesome. Always
He's so
awesome.
good.
And thank you for Mike Bennett and his crew, and Rachel.
Yes.
As well. We'll see you next month right here at Aspen Creek Grill on the Sports Zone.